Jarrett, is that actually
No, no, it's not.
true?
It's a Zoom feature. You can make
Oh,
it whatever
man.
background you want.
Oh, yeah, because
You see, I can clip in and out of existence.
Borealis going on behind him.
Oh yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, I'm trying to kind of figure out. All right. So what I'm going to do is I just want to make sure that everybody can hear what's going on here. So I'm just going to use the virtual background now. All right, cool. Yeah, I see Summer typing in here. So I kind of want to go through the list of people that are in here and just make sure. Can I unmute people? Or do you have to unmute yourself?
It pops up a little
We
window.
can unmute ourselves.
Okay, so Jarrett, you're fine. You're good to go. Ben, are you good to go? Looks like
so.
cool. Brian, you're good to go?
Yes, sir.
Bad boy.
All right, let's see. I see Anthony. Anthony, can you, Anthony.
I'm here.
Okay. What in the world? Jarrett's over there now?
Because new people are joining.
Okay, Aiden, are you good to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I see Nehemiah right there. Nehemiah, can you hear?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Timothy, are you good to go? Okay. Let's see. Nathan, you can hear fine?
Yep.
Joshua Carlson, you doing all right?
Yep.
Okay, I see Madeline.
Yeah.
Dude, you can see, okay. Carpenter, can you hear everything?
Yeah, I can.
Josh, you can hear fine? Josh?
I'm good.
Okay, and Luke?
I can hear. Hi.
All right, yeah, and let's see. Adam, you can hear all right?
All good.
All right, Summer?
Yep. I'm good here.
Let's see, who else is there? Aaron C. Aaron Campbell. Did I already, can you hear Aaron? Aaron Campbell?
I can hear.
Okay. Nehemiah, I already asked you that, didn't I? Right? Nehemiah? You there? Well, I don't know. What about Zach? Okay, Zach Young. Can you hear? Ah. Okay, and Ryan Albrecht. Can you hear all right?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. So Nehemiah and Zach, can either one of you guys hear what's going on? Okay, and Derek Gerald, you can hear?
Yeah, I'm good.
Rachel? Rachel, can you hear?
If you can't hear, you can go to the bottom left-hand corner, and then by the sound, you can hit the little arrow and then change the output device.
They can't hear you. That's not going to help them too.
Rachel, Judy, okay, I'm good, she says. So you also, I mean, just to let you know, I mean, I'll go through the rest of these in a minute, but just to let you know, you also have to change like the speaker, like you have to make sure that the speaker output is the correct one as well. I was rebuking a student earlier in office hours for like 15 minutes before I realized that I didn't have my speaker output as the right one. So I couldn't hear what they were saying, but they could hear what I was saying. If that makes sense. So you have to make sure that's all right. All right, so let's see. Rachel is good. Logan, are you all right? Logan Hennig?
He said he can hear, but he doesn't have a mic.
Okay. Let's see, who else is in here? Anthony, I already talked to. Philip, I saw you writing over here somewhere. Are you all right, Philip? I can't hear you, but it looks like you're doing something. Samuel, you okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so Philip, I mean, again, to do the mic stuff, go down to the left and kind of, toggle that arrow upward to select different options. Josh Payne, are you all right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so just to kind of let you guys know, I don't know, we're kind of 5 minutes in here. Hold the space bar to temporarily unmute. Okay. Samuel's kind of giving us some pointers here. Can everybody see the group chat over on the right? Just to make sure. I mean, I think you can, but seems like you probably should be able to do that. So I'm going to say that I hope that the videos are helpful. I didn't want to do a live lecture on Zoom just because because of this. Like, I just don't know what things are going to work and what things aren't going to work. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work well for everybody else. So that's why I'm going to continue to upload lectures the way that I am, and just use this time to answer questions, kind of debrief about the lectures that I've posted, take any questions you might have on problems and whatnot that you're working on. I have various ways that I can interact with you here in this environment that will hopefully make sense. So was everybody able to watch the lectures okay? Did that work out all right? I don't know, someone can just respond for everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
It worked out for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good for me.
All right, good. So again, I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm trying to keep them fairly short for the most part. I've already learned my lesson several times. If I go too long, I inevitably will make some kind of mistake, and then I have to correct some things. But I don't know, keeping them short like that, 15 to 20 minutes or so, uploading them that way. The files aren't so huge that it takes forever. They don't take forever to upload if they're about that big. So I'm just going to keep doing that. It'll usually be 3 or so of those per time, depending on how long those go. And I'll do that, and then I'll just use this time to answer questions. Hopefully that paradigm works for you. So that said, I mean, are there any questions? Oh, and by the way, I will always send out Zoom meetings, things like that. I'll send that all to you ahead of time, usually like, the night before or something. I'll continue to keep office hours in case you want to come to office hours at 8:30 in the morning till 10. But this time is just exclusively for this class only. So I'm not going to take attendance or anything like that, but, this is just for us to come hang out, ask questions, and just get some clarity. So any questions? Anything?
Dr. Hammett,
Yeah.
how capable are you to do some problems? Are you able to show us some? Do you have a whiteboard or?
Yeah.
The end of that last lesson, I think it was the covering credit cards with gas and things of the sort. Could you show us the last couple of those where we don't have the information directly given to us in the problem, but we like figured it out? Some of those are giving me trouble.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. So I have a couple of options. I'm gonna try this out, but I may bail on this because I don't have my iPad with me, and I may end up having to like unplug my machine and hope that the Wi-Fi picks up in time to not disconnect me. If it does, I'll just come back in. All right. But I think I have a whiteboard in here. Do you guys see this if I go like this? Do you see that whiteboard?
Yeah.
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 I'm going to try to draw on this. Let's see. Oh, man. That is just horrible. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to go over to the whiteboard itself and write over there, okay? All right, so just to let you know, I may get kicked out, but I promise I'll come back, okay? If that happens. Am I still in here?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, cool. All right. So let's see. So this is like all the stuff that we had before is up on the board right here. Let's see.
One of the ones that was giving me trouble was the probability of A3, which I think was like super users, and credit card.
Probability of A3, but that was given to us.
Probability of A3 and credit card.
Oh,
You need
probability of
credit
A3 and credit card. Okay. Well, let's see. So all of the information is right up here on the board. So did you understand like how it is that the probability of credit card, can you see this little equation that I wrote on the board right here? P of C is equal to P of C and A1 plus P of C and A2. Is that backwards on your screen?
No, that's good.
It's not backwards for you?
Nope. Straightforward.
What the heck? It's backwards for me. Okay. So do you understand this? That the probability of C is simply the sum of these three things. Do you understand?
I do now.
Okay. Because that's because of this. Like if I draw this picture, okay, so like this is A1, this is A2, this is A3. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I put C or like this. All I've done is I've split C into like these three parts, right? Like that. And so I've just basically broken it up across those three events, A1, A2, and A3. Yeah? So does that make it clear to you, Aiden, that if I can compute any one of these, then I have the probability of credit card, yes?
Yeah.
Because all of these are basically going to be the same. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I can compute any one of these, look, I have all this information about the probability of like A1, A2, A3, B given any one of those, and C given the intersection of the A's with B or the complement of B over here on the right. So how do we compute like the probability? So this is where I'm going to kind of spin this around and put it right here and try to aim it generally where I'm going to be writing. What in the world's going on here? That's like the wrong side of the board. Okay, so can you see that side of the board over there? Hopefully that's good enough. Okay, so if I want the probability of C and A1, for instance, okay, then isn't that just the probability of C and A1 and B plus what else would I need? Look, C and A1 could happen and B could happen, but what else could happen?
B not.
Yeah, not B. So probability of C and A1 and not B. Yeah? Does that make sense? All I'm doing is splitting up. It's this picture up here that I kind of drew at the end of one of those lectures. Yeah, you see that picture up at the top of the board? It's basically I'm taking C and A1, or this says C and A3, and I'm splitting it up over being inside of B or being inside of the opposite of B. Okay? So then the only question is, how in the world do I compute the probability of C and A1 and B? How do you do that? How are you going to compute the probability of C and A1 and B, for instance? How are you going to pull that off? Anybody know? What would you do?
Multiplication rule.
Yeah, so like what would be the first thing you would do? Probability of what?
You could do probability of C.
Well, that's probably not the easiest thing to do since I don't have the probability of C yet.
Oh, then probability of A1.
Yeah, probability of A1. So we're saying A1 happened, yes? And then what? What next? I mean, look over here at this list of things that I have. I have the probability of, I have the probability of B given A1, B given A2, I have all the probability of B's given these A things, yes? So wouldn't it make sense that the probability of B given something would be the next factor in this product? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I going to multiply that by then, Aiden?
The probability of B given A1.
Yeah. And then at this juncture, both A and B, or A1 and B have happened, yes? So
Yeah.
what multiply by finally? What's the last thing I would multiply by?
The probability of C given A1 and B.
Yeah, the probability of C given A1 and B. Exactly right. And and can you see that I have all of those things on the board, Aiden? Or all of that stuff was given to us, right? Each one of those factors was given to us.
Yeah.
So what about the probability of? Okay, let me just.
Dr. Hammond, I have a question about what you just.
Yeah.
So when you're multiplying the probabilities. And there's other times where we're like adding probabilities. Like what's the intuition for adding and multiplying, and which one in the right situation?
Well, so like when we're adding probabilities, those are like two separate things that can't happen at the same time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can B and B not happen at the same time?
No.
No. So in that case, I've kind of broken up a probability across two events that are mutually exclusive with one another, yes?
Yeah.
So I add them together. This case, I'm multiplying them together because I'm thinking about all of these events happening at the same time. Yeah?
Yeah.
But I can't just say, well, it's the probability of A1 times the probability of B times the probability of C without saying, okay, well, the probability of B might have changed now that A1 has occurred. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I go to multiply by that because this first factor, it's like, this is the fraction of times that A1 happened, yes?
Yeah.
The percentage of times A1 happened. And then I want to say, okay, but I don't just want that percentage. I don't want the percentage of times A1 happened. I want the percentage of times A1 happened and what?
Percentage of the times that B happened inside of it.
That means I need to take that fraction of the previous fraction, yes?
Yeah.
If I need to take that fraction of the previous fraction, what is that? What mathematical operation is that?
It's multiplication.
Multiplication, yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, other questions, So, okay, so what about the probability of C and A1 and not B? What about the probability of C and A1 and not B? What would I do first? Aiden, what would I do first?
Probability of A1.
Times what?
Probability of B given A1. Or B not
Probability
given.
of B?
B not.
Yeah, not B given A1. Oops. Given A1. Times what?
C given A1 and B.
And B?
B not, sorry.
Yeah. And not B. And you might say to yourself, okay, I know the probability of A1. I know this probability right here, the probability of C given A1 and not B, right? That's right here, yes? Probability of C given A1 and not B is right here. But what about the probability of, okay, here's the big question. What about this one right here? What about the probability of not B given A1? How would you do that?
1 minus the probability of B given A1.
Yeah, so this is the probability of A times 1 minus the probability of B given A1. Okay, in parentheses times the probability of C given A1 and not B. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, that's exactly right. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Be able to pull that off now. Questions and ask. So please ask questions about that. Anything? Was that all right? Did that work okay? Writing on the board like that?
Yeah, that worked.
You could see it. Okay. What else? Other questions?
Quick question. With the videos, is there a way in the videos for you to make the screen that has you bigger? Because I was sort of unable to see the board for most of your videos just because it was so tiny on the screen. I don't know if it's because I use a tiny computer. But.
Okay. Well, does somebody else want to speak to that? Is there a way to make that bigger, or do I just need to?
Pretty sure you expanded it for a little bit in in the first one.
Yeah, you
So-
did for a little bit.
You can also like pin a video to make it fill up your whole screen.
You can do what, Madeline?
You can like select a video and like the 3 dots in the corner of it and just say pin, and it takes up like the whole screen.
Okay.
No, he's talking about the actual video.
Well, it makes
Right.
the actual video big, like.
Oh, you mean like when you're playing the video, Madeline, you can actually select the part, the screen where I'm talking and just zoom in on that part of it or something? Yeah. So that's one thing you might be able to do, Luke. Does that make sense?
Great, thank you. Yeah, I'll do that.
But I can actually stretch that thing out too. So I can try to do that more. I could be more cognizant of that. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, I'm going to try not to get kicked off. Oops. Am I still here?
Yep.
All right. All right. Other questions?
Will we be having a quiz on something this week?
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, I just have to see where we're at by like Wednesday. I mean, I did a few problems in the lecture. I don't know how many problems did I do. I did that like one that had tons of little parts to it, right? So that would be good fodder for potential questions. But I did another one too.
You did the box one with the red and green balls.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we will have a quiz. It's just whatever I happen to cover. Whatever I happen to cover is fair game in the slides themselves.
Will we ever have a quiz where we have to do homework like we've done before?
Yes. So pretty soon, I think probably by the end of this week, we'll start that other book. That's just a pure statistics book. It'll be a little bit of a bumpy ride because some of the notation is a little bit weird, but it's an open source textbook. That's why we chose it. It's about as good as you can expect from an open source textbook. Some of the notation isn't exactly what I would consider to be standard, but we'll start that textbook and then the problems will be coming from there again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to upload your don't forget to upload your,
Quiz.
yeah, your quiz. That's due today. Yep. Hey, have any of you guys gotten coronavirus yet?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Negative.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh man.
That's quiz 6 that's due today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do any format that you want. You can snap pics of the page and upload like a JPEG or something, or if you want to scan it to a PDF, you can do that. All of those things are acceptable.
Will future quizzes be just like the quiz you gave today? And are you still planning on not having online tests, but waiting till we're in person?
Yeah, I'm going to try to delay any kind of online test for as long as possible. I think if I do end up administering a test, it will probably be proctored like in one of these sessions. Like I'll just have you kind of take the test in here. Does that, or like you'll be taking the test on your desk or wherever you happen to be, but it will happen during this time, and I'll just be able to see you while you're taking the test. Does that make sense? That's the best we can do. I don't know that I would have it be a take home, open book, open notes, the way that I'm doing right now with the quizzes. So yeah, it is what it is. We're in it together. We're gonna make the best of it. Other questions? Other questions? Did you guys have any professors actually lecture live in here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 2.
Couple of them.
Okay. Did that go okay?
Not terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit bumpy at
That's
first,
about
but it's
right.
just learning curves.
Yeah.
Do
It seemed to
you
work
think?
out, though.
Do you prefer? I mean, I don't know. I would rather have sort of a permanent record of the lectures in Canvas, which I guess we will. Oh, and by the way, I'm recording this, so I'll even upload this to Canvas. Like I just convert it to an MP4 and I just put it up on Canvas once this is done. But I'd rather just keep doing what I'm doing, just so there's a permanent record of these short lectures. There's no risk of technological glitches. So I'm just going to keep doing this if that's amenable to everyone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Usually they do it live and record it and then upload it afterwards.
Yeah, I just don't want to record a bunch of technological glitches.
Fumbling around a bunch.
Yeah. So right. I will upload these though, just so that you can kind of see the discussion that takes place about this. But yeah, just get into the habit of watching the lectures before coming and asking questions about those things, and that's how we'll kind of use this time. And you can also do that with office hours, 8:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay. How is it that is going the right direction for you guys and not for me? That is so weird. It's going backward. I don't know why that doesn't work for me, but I don't know.
It's mirrored so that it looks more normal when you're looking at it at the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
There should be a setting like in Zoom to say like mirror my video. You could like flip it that way. But
Okay.
I don't know if that would mess it up for us though.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Other questions? Anything else?
Is it fine to take a picture of my quiz and just turn it in like that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, that'll probably be stored as some kind of like JPEG or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you should be able to upload that to Canvas.
Yeah.
Have people
Okay.
done that, right? Has anybody in here done that?
I have.
No.
Yeah, I did the same. I just took a picture.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I did that too.
All right. Anything else? Well, if not, I mean, we could sit here and stare at each other's boxes for a while, but I'd rather not do that. Might as well sort of cut out here. Again, we'll have plenty of opportunity to do this. I'll be back on tomorrow at 8:30 till 10. If you have questions. Is there chapel tomorrow?
I think so.
There is?
It's either gonna be a rerun or it's gonna be, I think what's scheduled is Sam Albury, so I'm not sure if it's a rerun or if Sam Albury is actually there.
Oh, man.
I really hope it's Sam Albury.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, some of my friends are actually in chapel today.
Oh, okay. So there was actually people in there.
Yeah, a few people.
I thought I heard a couple claps. Yeah. So anything else? If not, I'll be in here from 8:30 to 10 tomorrow morning. You can come in and ask questions as they arise. Okay? All right, I'm going to end it.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Hammett.
Thank you,
All right.
Dr. Hammett.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.